We're 15 horses in and trying to select the 20 horses that are going to make up the starting gate on the first Saturday in May for the 141st running of the Kentucky Derby. We left off on number 15, Ocean Knight. Who's going to be number 16 for you?
Well, next one we're going to was a horse that I had the privilege of watching live and in person at Delta Downs, winning the Delta jackpot. Okay. That is Ocho.
Just call him Ocho?
Ocho times 3. That was the nickname for Kobe when he changed the number from 8 to 24. Ocho times 3. He's done nothing wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
He's talented. I know this is a horse that you're pretty high on.
Yeah, I'm very high on Ocho. He's a horse who's undefeated. He's 3 for 3. Gino mentioned that he won the Grade 3 Delta jackpot with Mike Smith for James Cassidy in his most recent start. He's probably one of the horses I'm really most looking forward to seeing how he progressed in his next start, in his first start at age 3, which we're going to see in the San Felipe Stakes coming up on March 7th. He's by Street Sense, Kentucky Derby winner back in 2007 for Carl Nasker, but his pedigree, Gino, he's out of a horse chestnut mare. When you look at the bottom line and the female side of his pedigree, it's nothing but the cherry red cap and the black silks of the Phipps. You can trace this horse's female line all the way back to his third dam for Personal Instant. To me, there's plenty of stamina there for Ocho to go ahead and stretch out into the longer distances. So I'm with you. I like him as well. So we'll go number 16, Ocho. Yeah, he's on the list. Next race for him, San Felipe. He has 10 points already. So again, he's another one. One more time, he hits the board, he runs well, he's probably in. Horse that he's going to be facing in the San Felipe will be the next horse that I put on my list, and that is Prospect Park. Okay. I loved the way Prospect Park won. Everybody was talking about the Gomper as the Gomper as he jumps up.
The major player in the race, and the Gomper was using an allowance race as kind of a stepping stone into stakes. Nobody was really paying attention to Prospect Park, who ran him off their feet. It was a good effort at Santa Anita. He's pointing to the San Felipe. I think a horse who has a ton of talent. So for me, he's going to be in the starting gate.
All right, he is number 17 as we move on to our Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner, who in his seasonal debut had a good run in the San Vicente Stakes, going 7 furlongs, wasn't awarded any points. But now he's going to be up against it a little bit.
Yeah, he has a foot abscess. So the game plan now for Texas Red, who Texas Red has 12 points, is the Santa Anita Derby or the Arkansas Derby. I think they'd like to get in the Santa Anita Derby if possible, but the Arkansas Derby gives them an extra week. The Arkansas Derby is a week later, so if he's not quite ready to rock, he's not quite ready to fire, then we could see a really cool rematch between Texas Red and American Pharoah. Those were your top two, and really the two main finalists for champion 2-year-old, Eclipse Award winner from 2014. American Pharoah got the win because he was a multiple Grade 1 winner, but Texas Red, what I loved about him in the juvenile, distance is no issue for him. The San Vicente was against him going 7 furlongs. That was
such a visually impressive win every time I look back in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
He beat horses like Carpe Diem, Mr. Z was in there, Upstart was in there, and the next horse that's on my list was also in that race. He finished 4th, and I know you like this one a little bit too, Joaquin, the Great War, who came over and won a stakes race at Turfway Park. It looks like he's going to be keeping the Turfway route to the Derby.
Yeah, he's a son of Warfront. He's out of a pulpit mare, and the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, in which we just took a look at, Gino, that was his first start on the dirt. I think he ran really well. A lot of people are talking about how well Mr. Z ran in there, being close to the pace. You know who also wasn't too far off that pace? The Great War. We go back to his seasonal debut for trainer Wesley Ward in the 96 Rock Stakes. And the thing is, okay, I know it's on synthetic. I know the competition was very weak. But that's just beautiful to look at right there, Gino. That's a visually impressive performance for the Great War. And you mentioned he's going to go ahead and stay on the synthetic. He'll go to the Battaglia and then go to the Spiral. But he didn't run that bad on the dirt to me in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
I completely agree with you, Joaquin. And that Breeders' Cup Juvenile has become a very live race, and a race that didn't even include American Pharoah, who would have been one of the major players in there. So the Great War on the list, and at this point, he has 1 Kentucky Derby point.
That's it.
So he's on the list, but so Battaglia will be next for him, and then the Spiral.
And then the Spiral, and then who knows? He is training at Keeneland with a dirt surface. Maybe he goes to Bluegrass after that, but at least know as of right now that the Great War is going to stay on synthetic with the Battaglia and the Spiral Stakes in his near future. We're up to number 20. What do you got?
For our final horse, last but certainly not least, maybe the most impressive horse so far that we've seen as a 3-year-old in 2015, and that is Upstart. The way Upstart won the Holy Bull, Joaquin, it was just a monster effort. He looked like a horse who's developed, who's grown up. He was good already as a 2-year-old. He defeated Frosted, left him in his wake. He'll have to deal with Frosted and Gorgeous Bird, among others, this weekend. But again, with Upstart, where he stands, he has 16 points already. So these horses who have a lot of points already, they don't need to be fully cranked to win these races. Again, if Upstart hits the board in the Fountain of Youth, he's going to be right there, again, as one of the top horses on the point standing list. We made it. We got through all 20.
That's it. Let's take another look at the entire field of 20 in which Gino Buccola is trying to predict the 20 horses that are going to make up at the starting gate, and any notable horses for you that you wanted to put on here that as you look back, you do not have on this list.
Yeah, there are a few horses like Bold Conquest, Lord Nelson, Daredevil were all interesting to me. Even Classy Class and Firing Line. But you can't pick them all, Joaquin. We had the top 10 from the points list, and we have 5 horses on here that have 0 points, so they're gonna need some luck. Let's see how many we can get.
There's the top 20 in the starting gate for Gino Buccola, as he predicts 71 days away to the 141st running of the Kentucky Derby.